So, to tell you guys that there is so much information to cover and to have you guys understand what time actually means for history and building of the world and changing of the world as we create. So, I want to show you this is one of the pictures that I have of how I'm going to prove time has definitely been lied to about what we've been told about our history. Now, maybe it's compressed, as in far as like this took a life time longer than what they've said the United States was actually created for, basically the Old West. Okay, so the only way you're going to find this out is going through history. And actually, I want to save this picture because there's a reason why I saved it. Okay, so you're going to have to read and go through history, and I'll kind of highlight some of the stuff in this. But this mill is very important, and I want you to see that the first one burned down, and these names are very important. When you start going back through history, you start realizing how many of these people are connected back east that came and basically conquered the West. And however you want to look at this, and this is what I honestly believe, and I believe that's why I've been placed here now and at this time in order to show you guys, because it's the most critical point in our history. If we don't stand now for the truth of our past, then we might as well just lay down now. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I can prove without a doubt that they've lied to us about history. Okay, so we'll just say the next mill was built in 1886. All right, so like I said, if you come through my drive, let's one of the ways we're going to mark history is by building and tree growth, and that is going to be the keys to this. Okay, so my drive, I have everything that I've collected. If you go into this one, it'll show you Kansas City or Canyon City links, and this is where I got these pictures. And if you click into, I just had it, but if you click into it, it'll take you to this one. And this is where I'm using all the information. I'm using trusted historians that are telling me a story about our history. But yet what I'm finding is definitely, it's not adding up to what history really is, especially by photographs. So if this is 1874 of Canyon City, let's really take a look at it. And I could tell you right now, like this building was probably one of the original homesteaders. And these were probably some of the original homesteaders right here. And then these buildings, and this is what I'm trying to help you guys explain, is how do you move in material when you're in Colorado? So let's take a look at Colorado so you guys can really comprehend this. Like I said, these videos are going to be long because it's so much to entertain. So we got to go back through history to kind of give you guys an idea. Okay, so Omaha, Nebraska is where they completed the Continental Railroad to Colorado, basically. I'm not saying they went to Colorado. They went to Cheyenne first, and then Colorado basically got the train in 1870. Until then, there was no moving of materials, and I'll show you why. So let's just go in, and we're going to focus in on Canyon City. And so I've mapped all of this out to make sure that I found what I knew exactly what I was looking for. Canyon City. And I drove this drive so many times, and I could tell you it is hilly, and it is definitely something you would take a wagon would probably take you probably a week to travel this. And then the other thing is you're going to have to stay close to the river because you have animals, because they got to be fed and watered too. So your only real trail going through in the beginning of this, you have to understand when the train came in and when people started founding this. All right, so let me give you an idea of what I'm trying to help you guys comprehend, because once you see it, you're going to be like, holy fuck, we've been lied to about fucking everything, or at least a lot of our history. Okay, so I'm taking you back to this picture, and we're going to study it, and I'm going to show you another one. And this is a later one of Canyon City. And this is, I can't remember when the date was on this one, but basically, if we go back, you can actually see the flour mill come in, and you can see the river has changed dramatically compared to what this photograph looks like. There is no mill there, and look at how wide this is. I've lived in Colorado my whole life, and I've never saw this full before. And so what I really want to show you guys is history and time, because I know people are going to say, well, yeah, there's been enough time, but yes, but not when you got the train in 1870 could you build like this, especially when Colorado just became alive. So you got to remember, all of these people are moving in all at once to just terrorize Colorado and strip it for everything it's got. All at 1870, basically, and the forefathers started at about 1860. That's when they started coming in, or a little bit before, and then the Civil War jacked all that up. And when you start understanding this and putting history together, you're going to see that these guys have lied to us. I mean, they have just flat out fucking lied to us. Okay, so this is how I'm going to show you guys. So I just wanted to show you guys all of this information to get you guys to, do your own research. And then I want you guys to understand construction, what it's like to actually move heavy machinery without trains. All right. So you imagine going through, let's just say the closest place that they could even gotten steel was from Pueblo. And the Pueblo plant was only built to do the narrow gauge railroad. That's the only reason it was built, for supposedly through history. So that means they would have had to actually get this from back east and so forth, because they weren't making any, like this in Colorado. They were just making trains, train tracks. That's what the whole story goes. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. All right, this is what it would kind of look like if you were actually moving train tracks by horse. This is part of the aqueduct that they redid in Denver. And I'm telling you, when you understand our history, you're going to see there's no way they could have did what they did, and not in the time frame, and you're going to see the loopholes. So imagine going over a pass with this. Not only are you going to scrape high because you're going to high center and all the switchbacks, but then you can't put the horse in low gear in order to crawl down the mountain. This isn't like four-wheel driving. I mean, the horses, I hope the brakes are really good on this, because that poor horse is going to get fucking hamburgered. All right, so let's continue on to the insanity. All right, so this one, Central City, Colorado. This is pulling in a boiler. So look at all of the horses that they had to have in order to pull this massive piece of machinery at the beginning of the century. And then even at that, how many of these can come on a train load all at once? And so you have to start thinking about that. 1870, everybody is coming into Colorado, materials, everything. So where are they getting all these materials in order to build all of this at record pace? All right, so let me give you an idea of what it was like to go over one of those passes. Now, they don't do a very good job of letting me blow these up, but that's just it. You have to use common sense when you're looking at this, and to realize this is one of the passes that you take to go to Canyon or Salida from Canyon City. I'm assuming so, because it looks very familiar. But think about how long it took them to actually dig out all of this road, all by hand, and that's just it. Nobody's comprehending that. I'm like, you can't. All right, so let's continue on. I have all the photographs here of everything that I'm going to cover, my drives and stuff. They're there, and I'm going to show you history that we've been here way longer than what they've said, and it kind of scares me to figure out what I figured out, because, like I said, it's when you understand what I'm trying to show you and you comprehend it. Okay, here's another picture of them moving over a pass and stuff in the Rockies. So like I said, are you going to take this this boiler, four-wheeling, with this team of horses, trying to go over switchbacks with this? Like I said, when I really started to look at this, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is the most stupidest story I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, how the fuck did anyone believe this shit? So like I said, this is gonna be long and painful, but you're gonna have to see the fucking shit in this, and know that you've been lied to. And if you don't stand now, well, you know what? Just be a pacifist, lay down. But I'm telling you right now, this is a start. All of our financial, all of it, 1800s, 1700s, fucking America was conquered, and luckily the forefathers left our Constitution the way they did. So we have a chance today. But if you don't take it today, we don't have a chance. So it's either stand today with truth and come to stop your pettiness, and all the people that have been working on this that helped me see and how to present a video. Because I don't know how to do this. I'm not the video guy. But I need to show you guys how this works so you can understand. Like Central City, how did they get all this brick up here? So they had to build a brick plant, or they were four-wheeling with some brick loads. And yeah, you're. Let me show you another picture. I just want to give you a visualization. Oh man, I don't even. Anyway, I got this slurred speech, and sometimes I just can't make out words. Anyway, so visualization of the insanity of this. So, I mean, are you really going to go four-wheeling with this all the way up to Salida from Canyon City? Are you really going to go four-wheeling with this from Pueblo to Canyon City? And then, like I said, you have to pack all of your gear, plus the horses. They need food, watering. I mean, when I put this together, I was like, yeah, we're that stupid. We bought hook, sinker into this narrative, and none of us have ever questioned it. Any of us that are on the lower totem pole, I guess. But now I'm going to tell you, God said in the time of the end, all the information would become abundant. And so we're here, guys. And it's time now to stand with God, truth, and to bring our country back under God's rule and get away from this sick world that we live in. Maybe we can help change the world. But this is also for people of the world to show the United States it's been lied to, and we got to come together. If you look up your history and you're part of the country and you're old enough to remember to see what the only problem is that Europe has taken some heavy hits. So with World War I and World War II, they have destroyed so much of our history, and there's a reason why they wanted it that way. So, like I said, if you find these, share these, because it is very important. What I am explaining to you is vital to everything. And if you can't see that, then you are the 99% that are asleep.